have to follow that one because
Brought over some presents for Eddie and everything.
And she knows Don, so it was like Don
Yeah.
was recommended you guys awesomely, and then
Yep.
she asked us, and
Did
then
you hear
Don
this?
told her.
Did you hear the story about Don?
I did.
Yeah,
Very
that's cool.
first client before
Yeah.
we even started the company.
He's a fantastic guy. We love him.
Yeah.
Eddie loves him
And
too.
he helped. He was one of those guys that he would go to McDonald's every morning and
Yeah.
shoot the shit with his buddies. And before we started the company, he helped me get a bunch of leads and all that good stuff.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
So you're familiar with Xactimate and all that stuff since you write Xactimate.
Yeah, that's what
Yep.
she does.
We're,
Yeah.
as far as we know, we're the only contractor in the Metro East, so we carry the same software. So a lot of times on claims, what we're doing is we're pretty much scrubbing our historic data and just making sure that, I'm sure you know from the Serpro side, every claim is underpaid with intent, and then we come and get what you're supposed to get. In this case, I don't really see a whole lot we really need to go after, and I guess I want to get a barometer on you guys to see, what our intent was, like what is our goal, what are we trying to do, in terms of, I'm happy with this roof. We'll put in for ice and water shield. There's some code upgrade that we know they'll pay for because we helped write the letter for Edwardsville, but I was going to consider this one a roof and roof only. With Cardinal, we do complimentary shingle upgrades. And with that, I didn't want to mislead you and I left you 2 samples because the Tamco is the free upgrade. And then if you guys wanted to do a bigger and badder shingle, I can go through JF. I brought the video and all the stuff for the weather stopper, the extra warranty. We're not a kind of company where we don't push upsells.
Sure.
So if you want it, we can give it to you.
Right.
If you don't want it, we can turn on it. And what we say is, with roofing, 2019, all of the shingles are good. Now, some have better warranties than others, but they're all somewhat of a limited, prorated, lifetime shingle or 30-year shingle. With us, it's more how we build the roof. So whether I put on Tamco, Certainty, GAF, Owens Corning, it's more how we build it. So we hit a bunch of specific metrics that I can talk really for days.
Sure.
Just really wanted to start off and listen to what you guys are thinking for this job and what we want to do. Are we looking for economical, save money, or are we looking to do the best roof possible, or somewhere in between? That's kind of where I'm at with this. Or that's where my question is.
At first, I was thinking just probably 3-tab shingles would be fine for us. So it probably won't be here forever.
Okay.
So, that's probably the option we were looking at. But you
We're
mentioned there is a
we're
complimentary.
gonna do the Tamco
Yeah,
regardless.
there's a complimentary. If I get a better shingle for the same price,
Yeah, and
obviously,
it's
not gonna turn that down.
Yep.
you know?
Yeah,
cost
definitely.
them.
And Tamco is kind of local.
That's great.
They manufacture. Hold that up, kid. They manufacture
I think that's the
everything in Missouri.
garage.
Yeah.
It's the Tamco.
Yeah, I believe so.
So you've got good, better, and best, and with us, we're gonna do the 6 nail pattern. We're gonna enhance our ventilation. We do ice and water shield where we're supposed to, and we do a full decking inspection, make sure we've got a nailable surface. So that is way more important than the name brand of the shingle.
I do have, I don't know if Adam mentioned, so where our, plumbing exhaust comes out of the roof,
Yeah.
when it rains, it has to rain pretty heavy,
Yeah.
it soaks the base. There's it
It's
gets
not a huge
The
amount.
basement or the
all, because it comes, the pipe,
It
you
comes
can
straight
see
down the pipe
straight,
all the way down.
all the pipe, and then there's a puddle. I have pictures.
Okay.
There's water, and it's not inches. I just bring fans home from work if I know we're gonna have a bad storm. I just want to make sure. I don't know if that's
new roof, since
Well,
we
it's
are, we
I'm
strip
not
it
sure if
all
they
down.
flash the
We're gonna
pipe boots at all first.
We're gonna tear it off, do a full decking inspection, make sure we've got a nailable surface. At that point, we'll check. We've got one plumbing jack, a couple pipe boots are called. They're plumbing jacks. So those will get replaced with lead boots, and that should.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's gotta be lately we've had all this torrential, that's when it seems to be worse. If we just get your basic rain, it's not that bad, but
So
obviously
wind-driven
over
rain.
time, I'm sure that's probably gonna cause damage to the roof
Oh, yeah.
eventually, you know what I mean? And that would be
So,
great.
yeah, this will be relatively easy then. So basically, this gets turned into production, and we're gonna order basically right off of your scope of damage. So basically what they're doing is they're saying 13.96 squares off, They give us roughly 10% waste, and they do like for like I'm sure you're aware. So they are paying for a 3-tab. Of course, we're gonna upgrade it, you know, for free. We're gonna do the TMCO as a shingle upgrade. And then what I was gonna recommend on this is we've got 11 feet of downspout for $72, and we've got some sort of a minimum. What I would propose, what I would like to do is let's take this money and put on our fancy synthetic felt. That's kind of the latest, greatest thing in the business. Rather than 15-pound felt, we've got our own cargo protection services low board felt. And like the last roofing trade show, every year, everybody is pushing the synthetic felt because the felt is supposed to last 2 full months of rain without shingles.
Oh, wow.
The
So
felt you currently
it's-
have is like cardboard basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I can show what it's like, but for that, so what I was gonna propose was we won't do that work and just take that towards the better felt and build a better roofing system.
That's fine.
Is
For
that
the
cool?
downspout?
Yeah, I mean, instead of putting on
Well, I mean,
11 feet of downspout.
Yeah, and that's just that one that fell, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they're talking about?
Is that's what I would do for my house. Yeah, we do
Is
something,
that,
we do something like this.
Are you guys still going to repair the downspout, the gutter?
We would
in the
just back it off the claim and not do it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's $72, so we're just gonna take that for, well, it's a real easy repair too.
Right.
But,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could do it.
Well, we
But
want-
if
we want that repaired too,
Yeah.
as well.
Okay,
If we could, I mean.
okay, not a problem. Not a problem at all.
And while the roof's getting fixed, I want to make sure all the gutters are.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make sure that gutters working properly also.
So you're saying that this without shingles can last 2 months of rain? That's what they're
The
saying.
latest,
huh?
greatest thing in the roofing industry for the last 10
Oh.
years has been, last 5 years has been synthetic felt. So every time we go to the National Roofing Expo, and this year it happened to be in Nashville, I mean, there was more synthetic felt vendors than anybody.
Really, you know, in modern day codes ought to just mandate that
Yeah.
because the old felt's way out of date.
But I
it's too
mean,
universal.
it's standard 15-pounder, so that's what we'll do, not a problem at all. So we're just gonna do this line by line. We're gonna replace we'll fix that gutter, and that'll be no problem at all. I always try to propose what I would do on my jobs. So then we already have your contract, so this is pretty straightforward. We're gonna go line by line per scope. So then what we'll do is, we'll move on to the next thing, which is shingle color, shingle type. Or any questions about this at all?
No, it looked pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
the same copy. Everything looked good. Oh, I do have a question. How big of a dumpster will we have?
Our roofers carry their own dumpsters normally, so we have a rubber tire recycling trailer, and I go through that in the pre-install. So, usually they'll do 1 roofing tear off, maybe 2, and they haul it to the dumpster. So we actually don't bring a dumpster.
You don't bring a dumpster.
No, we found that they wreck driveways, and just a big liability, so we would rather not.
Not.
In the case that we get backlogged, which we're not crazy, we're not like, we're not 5 months out, we're pretty clean. As far as our lead times and stuff, we do once in a while, we will use a bigger rubber tire trailer from RP Lumber.
Okay.
But most of our roofers have their own, so they put that in the, see the tear off, haul off and dispose, they build that into the cost of it.
That's why I was wondering if it was a dumpster haul.
Yeah,
If we're gonna do a dumpster.
For bigger jobs or for, well, this is 2 layers, isn't it?
It's 3 layers, I
3
think.
layers.
Yeah.
The only reason we were questioning that was we were saying if we're gonna have a dumpster, we want a bigger one so we can just trash as much, you know, if it's gonna be
Yeah.
here. I
Yeah,
said
I
if
was
you
just
guys
looking at
don't
sometimes
use them.
We try to throw some junk that we have
Yeah.
in there, out of the garage.
Versus
Because
paying,
if
you know,
it's
if
here,
it's
yeah.
gonna be here, but if you're not using
Yeah,
dumpster.
we use, the one with RP, they get pretty strict as far as, since they go to the road for landfill, it's only supposed to be roofing stuff. So we do get in trouble once in a while when we.
Oh, they are recycling it for the. For
Yeah, they
asphalt mixes?
go to the recycling.
Oh yeah, it goes
landfill.
back into your roads.
So-
That's
That's
great.
good,
Yeah.
that's good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That's something we may want to look at, because you're gonna have to write, Tyler, you're gonna have to write this should all be loaded in the system. We're gonna have to write for Ice and Water Shield.
Yes.
They're giving us haul off, so their guys might have to, we might have to actually bring the RP, the big, you know, it's a 6-yarder. We might have to bring that one. We'll just play that one by ear. For some reason, I didn't catch that 3-layer. No worries at all, though. If it's our roofer's trailer, He could probably see if you can. If it's RP one.
We don't have very much stuff, just
Yeah.
like a few. Actually, some of them old shingles. That's roofing stuff anyway.
Yeah, that's
Get
we get those out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We did it to the garage roof and we just have a lot of leftover stuff.
So, since we're gonna be putting in the Heritage Premium, or the Heritage, Tamco Heritage, not the Premium, the Premium is 40 years. Here's the color choices. So, have you thought about what the color choice you'd like is?
Yeah, we were gonna go with a darker color. I know there's
Okay.
brown on the top layer now, but we were gonna go to
Like either a charcoal
more
or
of a
a
charcoal
black.
or blacker color. You know, maybe like a rustic
They
black.
do a rustic black,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like Googling some pictures of red brick houses with the dark roof.
They'll look nice.
And
It
they
does.
look really
Yes.
nice versus like sometimes I feel like our roof looks like our brick. You know what I mean? Like when you're
You don't want
driving
it to
up.
blend together too
Yeah,
much.
it's
No,
pretty.
no.
They're pretty much the same color at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what color would you suggest for a?
My go-to always is weatherwood, just because you can't miss it. And with this house, the weatherwood is the
Oh,
most
okay.
neutral
It's
color.
darker gray, yeah.
But it's flip a coin with black. I know
Weatherwood?
that
I'm sorry,
black
which
and
one is it?
weatherwood.
Weathered
Oh,
wood's on
right
top,
here.
right?
Yeah.
That would look actually look nice too,
Yeah.
I think.
So the weatherwood, by process of elimination, there's no price incentive for any color or anything.
All
I
colors
put-
the same price.
Yeah, they're all the same. I put on more weatherwood, and it's not a close second. Weatherwood first, and then black second.
Okay.
I think the
So-
weatherwood would actually
Look good. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For a brick home, you think that would look better? I think so.
So Ken, our most senior sales guy, I think he put on 63 blacks without trying to. He likes the black.
Yeah,
He can't strip the neutral. And whenever I'm out, I'm the opposite. And I don't really try to steer, but I put on more weatherwood than anything. So we have drippage, white. So you think the weatherwood?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you like that better than the black?
I mean, they're pretty comparable.
What color is the grass? Do you want to match the grass?
No.
The garage is more of a charcoal. It would actually be more like that thunderstorm gray.
That's something to take into consideration. Maybe we do
Yeah.
want to go black with that because the black will match the dark gray. Look at you, buddy.
He's busy. Say, I'm 11 months today, and I think I'm.
Pretty big. Yeah. You don't look like daddy at all, then
You should have seen him when he was born.
Yeah,
You know, though, I won't complain.
I
That
have the
was my
shingle
only
in the garage
request.
that we use for the
Do you want me to
garage.
show you that?
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
no.
look at the color.
I was extremely ill. Eddie's my third. Adam's first. So I have big kids. I have a 12-year-old son, and then I have an 10-year-old daughter from a previous marriage. And Eddie's Adam's first, but I was so sick with Ed. I threw up literally every day. Probably like 5 days I did, but every day. And everybody was like, "How do you deal with it?" I said, "He better look exactly like his dad with blue eyes." That's the only request.
You daddy's boy?
Yeah,
Are you daddy's boy?
I'm a good boy.
Are you daddy's boy?
He's a daddy's boy until the big kids come, and then he wants absolutely nothing to do with either one of us. Are you the youngest?
No.
He's the oldest.
Oldest. Okay, and how old
So
are
he's
you?
got two
13.
brothers.
You're 13?
Yeah.
Yep.
13, and then how old are your brothers?
8 and 5.
Wow. So they think you're the coolest thing
So
since
he-
sliced bread.
He has a YouTube account and he wants to be a YouTuber. He records and does all this work with the effects. And
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it's really cool what he does. So he even knows where he wants to go to college and
That's
wants to go to
fantastic.
grad school at UCLA, so he can go to film school and all this stuff.
Yeah. My son is the kid that watches all your YouTube videos. That's all he does with
Was
his
it
life.
Rudeness TV?
That's what's on the garage.
Yep. So that's basically like a that's like a pewter, or it'd be their thunderstone gray, or their slate, probably more thunderstone gray. So really, not steering you in any way, but if you want to match the garage more, you probably should do the rustic black.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
we
like
got-
the rustic black.
Yeah, this one's Tamco. This is a Tamco.
Was it
30 year.
Tamco?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tamco architecture.
Yeah, they're a solid shingle. I put on
Yeah.
a lot of Tamco. For the 3-tab upgrades, I think it's a solid.
Yeah, you
So
see
we'll
that
go.
thing?
Yeah, it's on the black, I think.
I think so too, babe. Oh, right.
So we noticed what else? We can talk roofing a lot. So yeah, you can slap that downspout on real quickly, right? Or bring Jay out to
Oh
do
yeah.
it. Not a problem at all.
I'm a do it myself kind of person.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
I'm kind of like that too. You know, whenever we're writing these, I always take into consideration, you know, I want to get more information because, you know, a lot of people in our industry, their program just upsell. Where our company, like SurfPro, we're set up where we pay our bills from the insurance proceeds.
Yep.
So our whole goal is, you know, through referral vouchers and reviews and things, we can help make you pay less.
Yeah. That's like us. If we go in for a mold job and it's surface mold and we don't have to take out your wall, we're not going to tell you we're going to cut out 4 feet of your wall by 8 feet. We're going to say, here's our chemical, $50, use it, clean it. If it doesn't come away, you go away. Then we'll come back.
You ever heard of Pride out of here?
Yes.
Well, I got a whole story about those guys, man.
Yeah.
They went in and we had to give our clients our attorneys because they did all this unauthorized work. And then the insurance company came in and said, we're not paying you.
None of it. It's all the customer's responsibility.
And it was, so they're getting their pantsuit off right now. So one thing I noticed on this too is we have gable vents, and I want to cut a couple turtle vents in, and that's just going to be, we're going to cover those. We're going to add 2 turtle vents, box vents, we'll just cut those in. So we're going to do Lamanco turtle vents. Turtle vents, and those will be black. And then we're missing some drip edge here, and they are putting drip edge on, so we're going to say as needed, but we're going to replace as much drip edges as we need on this house to put the warranty on, because they are paying for most of it. If there's some good salvageable drip edge like an E-line, I don't think there is. I think it's just up on the rakes, but we'll know that. Anyway, we're going to do it right. And then we have 1 white downspout, right?
Yep.
Worst case scenario, bring the Ironman truck here, or actually, you could probably check with Byron in the back of the Ironman truck. We got a gutter division or a gutter truck.
Okay.
They might have that in the back. The accessories in the back. Yeah, it's just a downspout and it's 12 feet, 11 feet. All right. So actually, what is it? 20 today?
The day? 18. Yep, baby's 11 months old today, so that's how I know the date.
So now we turn into a little real estate type transaction. So if you would, will you initial right here, the colors right here, just put the initial up there.
What does that say? White?
White drip edge.
Got it, okay. Gotcha.
One of the biggest faux pas realtors make is they put the wrong color drip edge.
Yeah.
So we write it right into our contracts to make sure we do it right. And then the color meeting portion, we're just going to another place. We're saying Tamco Heritage, rusted black, white drip edge. We're going to cut in a couple black turtle vents and then 1 white downspout.
Okay.
That's it. So, put your Herbie Hancock right there. And then did you guys keep that cardinal cat folder? Because a lot of
I do
times we
have
want
it,
to keep all that
yes,
stuff
I
together
do.
since we kill a couple trees here during the
Right.
transactions.
Yep, I have it.
All right, next thing that we go through, and I'll burn through this relatively quickly. This is kind of a jobs to life, or we call it our pre-install disclosure, precautionary statement, just kind of things that are probably common sense, but 10 years doing business, we ran into anything you can think of. So we always try to over-communicate and really go through the nitty-gritty of how all this is going to work. So the first thing we talked about is access. So the question was about a dumpster. We try not to roll off dumpsters since they wreck driveways. We do use rubber tire trailers, whether it comes from RP Lumber or from our roofers. We don't want to block any cars in. We're going to want to get this thing as close as we can. So this is more concerning about if people have like fancy driveways and we don't want to pay for cracked driveways and things. But then this is also work with us as we get closer to the install in terms of how we can make sure that we don't block any cars.
Yeah, we'll have our cars parked in the street, so you guys have a full driveway. And the good thing is the neighbors we share the driveway with, their house is vacant
Right now.
So
We need to.
you'll
Yeah.
literally have like the whole
Okay.
driveway space.
Sweet. And then the other thing is we will take, RP Lumber will bring their boom truck and they're gonna load the shingles up rooftop.
Okay.
So sometimes we run into like in Ebbets Field, different places where people don't want their fancy driveways with the boom truck. and-
Yep, I got it.
It's just like a conveyor that puts the.
Yeah, it's a big
Wow.
boom and they'll pull it
It's
up right here
amazing.
and they'll have one guy catch
Damn, I
it.
wish they had that when I did roofing.
So yeah, carrying that up the
That was always fun part is,
ladder.
you know, humping them shingles
Yep.
up the ladder. You
The
know,
worst
that's
is
what
like I have a job right now in Collinsville where
Yeah.
it's a pretty steep driveway in Collinwood, and the guy's selling his house and he's like, I'm not going to authorize you guys or RP or I don't want anything heavy on this. So then we have to basically negotiate with the insurance company to pay for what we call a ground trout. So most people just eat it. We go, no, this was caused by the law, so the insurance company will pay it.
Yeah.
So I think we charge $7 to go up a ladder, and our main roofing crew has a ladder, they know those little ladder elevator
Oh,
things.
okay.
So we're equipped with it.
makes it so much easier.
Next thing we talk about is weather, and I kind of get into
There you go.
the job cycle and how we order our roofing systems and things like that. We are at the mercy of Mother Nature, so we only monitor NOAA.gov. So if NOAA.gov, and you can click on the Cardinal Cat website, and it'll take you right to the Edwardsville link. If there's a 30% chance of rain or greater, we're not going to roof that day. And I tell all my clients, think about like our roofing production, like an assembly line, where every time you shut the assembly line off and turn it back on, it takes longer to get moving. So this is not a 2017 year where we're doing 700 roofs, but we're pretty busy. Our backlog is not, it's about a week and a half to 2.5 weeks. But we ask that you give us a break in terms of if we do have a ton of rain. Like I know we had 5 days last week that we had to just shut everything down. So a little bottleneck, but nothing too crazy. We have 5 roofing crews, so we can do 5 roofs a day.
Wow.
So we're geared to do a lot. So I usually won't go through and give a install date until a few things happen. So then from this point, what happens is once we get all this loaded into our system, we have our own internal database that tracks everything. We order the roof. This is going to go to RP Lumber, and this is where we lose a little bit of control. So when we do email the roofing order in, I can't tell you if it's going to deliver tomorrow or in a week and a half. We're their number one company, they say, since we pay our bills on time. So we usually get pretty good VIP treatment. So chances are it should be a day or two. But based on any product unavailability, there could be many things that could cause this to take longer than a few weeks. And I don't anticipate that, but I always communicate to our clients that this is how we order everything, just so if we do run into any kind of weather delays or if there's any kind of backlog with RP Lumber with this specific color, we can either flip it to a different shingle or we can patiently know that it's going to get done. So we just ask your mercy if we do have a ton of rain.
Yeah.
And then once the roofing system is delivered rooftop, that's when you're the immediate next roof. So that's when we can get really close to it'll be this Thursday or next Thursday.
Okay.
Whatever. And then because this is 20 square, a little bit steep, it should be just a 1 day roof. It won't be a 2 day job where you got people coming in and out. It's going to be, we'll be here at the crack of dawn, get the thing done, and we'll be in and out in 1 day.
Sounds good.
That's really awesome to get done with the 30% chance rain.
Yeah.
We just did a claim where they got somebody's roof off and it poured. And that's no fun for the homeowner and or the roofer.
But that helps you because that jacks the claim up and gives you a bit of profit, right?
Yeah, but it was like that's good that you guys do that because a lot of places they just kind of.
Yeah, we've kind of shot probably 10 years because a lot of people that do this business just they don't take a white collar real business approach to how to do this.
Yeah, they just
and
do
it's
it.
just a lot of roofing companies are a guy that was an installer and boss taking too much money, so I'm going to go and do it myself. But they don't have any real business acumen, so you get a lot of crappy companies in our business, unfortunately. Okay, so next thing is work area noise. So this is a construction site. During the day of the install, it's going to be loud. We're going to be beating and banging. I tell my clients, go to the zoo that day. Come home to a new roof. But just for kids, pets, I don't want anybody to step on a nail or get hit in the head with a flying shingle. So it's going to be a big old mess. We do a 25-point QA inspection after it's done. Tyler will do it after we're done with nail magnets, and we do a bang-up cleanup job, so we shouldn't have any problems. And if we do find anything, we'll come back again and again until the cleanup is perfect. But just know that it will be a big mess and that it will be loud, and we don't want anybody to get injured. Power, we will be required to use your external power, so just in the event that the outside power doesn't work for guys to plug into, in this case it'll be to cut the steel saw to cut the turtle fins in. You run the extension cord for us?
They
Yeah.
work outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we've got
Perfect.
an outlet right out in the patio there.
On the patio.
Stow items, this is more of a CYA thing, and mainly it's more for like siding styles where it vibrates a lot, but if you do have that, $3,000 Dale Earnhardt statue, maybe put that thing down. I mean, I don't want to buy it. But usually we don't have a lot of problems with things rattling and falling off, but we just say be smart, be proactive. Inside, outside, if you got that expensive grill or something, they can back it away, because we do align the area of your house that we're tearing off, and we throw the shingles into the dumpster or into big old tarps. So we don't want to buy grills or lawnmowers, and you'd be surprised at things that we have been asked to pay for. Duration should be a one day job. The only thing that would cause this to deviate from a one-day job, and I was on that roof, I weigh 195 pounds, I didn't find any bad decking. This has plank board decking, so it's the old-fashioned real thick stuff.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a good. So the only thing that would cause this thing to be out of our control in terms of the $500 deductible payment or making the job last longer would be a ton of bad decking or any not available surface. I didn't see it, so I don't think we're going to
Yeah, I think
do
the
any of it.
decking's in good shape.
Decking should
Yeah,
be solid,
it is.
but that's an unknown. We don't know, and it's not a bait and switch. It's usually if I got usually the company I'll cover a sheet or two of plywood or a couple linear feet of plank wood. If it's a little bit, sometimes on the chimney it might get burned or something. But one day job. Ventilation. Since you don't have any ventilation, you've got gable vents, but I'm going to go ahead and cut the turtle vents. We're going to give you kind of an upgrade, single upgrade, so it'll be cool. I have to put this on here just in case houses don't have any, and there's nothing to work with on the claim. The payment schedule, if you've done a bunch of exact notes, you know about the recoverable depreciation. We get all that released for you. So basically, it sounds kind of corny, but we're doing the work for the insurance money. You'll pay your $500 deductible when we're finished with everything. And as we get closer to finish, I can talk to you guys about referrals. We do a referral voucher program for $100 top if we end up, taking the job on. And then we do offer some reviews and things that can help vouch you or go against your $500. Worst case scenario would be $500 and we're done.
I sold him to his buddy or
I
something.
mean, that hurt. I mean, that was
Oh, yeah.
$1,000. You can't bury it. I mean, there's not big margins in this stuff.
Yeah.
I can't eat $1,000, especially first year business.
No, not any year of business. It doesn't matter what year
Yeah.
it is. It's just not
Very-
fair for you to have to
very
eat
true.
$1,000 because somebody's unfaithful and truthful.
So this is something, you may take this back to CertPro and use this. This is something we call a pre-install financial discussion. Because I'm sure when you do insurance claims, how many times do people think that their deductible is their premium they pay?
Oh yeah.
Or they say, oh no, my insurance company already paid it. So what we do is we kind of go through and explain some acronyms that we use and then how the money works. So I'll just quickly bang through it. The first thing we talked about is the SFD, the summary for dwelling or the scope of damage. And that's this thing, so we already have it. There's a good chance with travelers when we put in for the ice and water shield and the permit, they may kick out a new scope of damage. So if they do, send it to us so we can update our records. That'll help us, so we're actually invoicing for the correct replacement cost value number. Next thing is ACV, so in the business, actual cash value payment or the first check in the business. So that's what we'll pick up today if it's ready. The next thing is the replacement cost value. So the replacement cost is all the insurance proceeds plus your out-of-pocket deductible plus any supplements. So that's inevitably, or at the end of this, that's what we're going to be hired for to do the work for the replacement cost value. Depreciation, that's recoverable depreciation. So the easiest way I explain to my homeowners is depreciation on a homeowner's policy is a lot different than when you buy a new Buick and you drive it off the lot and it loses value. On a homeowner's policy, unless you have specific, specific policy language, it just means holdback money. So we get that for you, they just don't pay it up front. They're hoping that, people get bids and they think they're gonna keep the difference of money. That's kind of how all this works. We say, no, that's recoverable depreciation, we get that for you. And then, let's see, deductible payment is different than your premium. Deductible is what you pay to your contractor. In your case, it's $500. Most of the time that's, or all the time, that's included in the replacement cost. So your replacement cost is your first insurance check, your depreciation to hold back insurance check, any supplements, and your out-of-pocket deductible. All of those numbers equal your replacement, your RCD. So I'm sure you know, if you ever had to deal with collections, how people all of a sudden don't think they have to pay that.
Yeah, we get a lot of, we have to prove, that we actually go do the work or home, or like if there's a loan on the home, because some people won't.
You gotta get the mortgage involved.
Yeah, they won't get the work done,
Yeah.
and they have a $500,000 house, and they have their
Wells Fargo has to
brothers
come out and
doing
inspect
it.
it,
Yeah, because they're not going to insure your $500,000 house if you just made a $5,000 claim and you did $100 in work,
Yeah.
and then when you go to resell the house, it's damaged.
Yeah.
So
They've got
that's
skin on it. We know that, like, the last thing I talk about is the mortgage endorsement or the mortgage process. So we have full staff that can help assist if they need anything. A lot of times they'll need affidavits, pre-lien waivers, post-lien waivers, roofing license, insurance, whatever they need. We have it for you. Just let us know. A lot of times that roofers and contractors hate insurance claims because it pays super slow. They pay crazy slow. I mean, if you deal with insurance claims, slow they all pay.
Yeah, 30 to 50 days. It just depends.
Yeah, and we know the mortgage company wants to escrow the stuff, release it in thirds, and charge you. Now they're charging for the inspection. We actually start charging that inspection back to the insurance company, and they're paying it.
We do free inspection.
But you know how the mortgage company
Yeah.
will send somebody out
They
to
charge, yeah.
verify the work? Well, that's supposed to go against our CV. We're going, no. Why is that our cost? That's part of the claim.
Yeah.
So if there's a cost associated to this wouldn't have happened for the loss, right? So we charge that to the insurance company now.
That's good, yeah.
I mean, if it was a company the size Surpro, think about how many millions of dollars that would be if it's $30 a pop times however many millions of claims you do. And then let's see, deductible payment, supplemental invoices, additional payments. We will have permit and ice and water added to the back end of this depreciation. So we know we're going to get.
No ear food. He doesn't like the potatoes.
He's like,
He's out of meat.
We'll probably
Okay, I will
end up
give
being
you
a couple
that.
$100 on
I'll
the back
get you
end.
some more
I don't know how
meat.
much ice and water, probably could be up to $500 coming on the back end.
Okay.
So that will just be added to this. We'll get all that released for you
Awesome.
and call it a day. Who was it? This wasn't perfect,
None this,
was it? Chad.
Chad Hawkins. This guy.
Is he staff adjuster?
He had a lot of guy out.
He had a rough day today.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
fell
hard
through
day.
someone's roof at the house before our house. Like went through it. He was like,
Not good something.
Yeah, that guy. You could tell it worked out having it late in the day because you could tell he was just like.
I'm
By
done.
the time he got here, he was like, he was getting out of here in like 10
He didn't even
minutes.
get on the
He's
roof. He was like,
he's
not
man,
having
I'm
it.
just
There's a
done
methodology
today.
to this. I would
Yeah.
say whenever possible, I want the last thing of the
Okay,
day.
are you
Yeah.
done?
Because
Are you all
conversely,
done?
you get the opposite. You get most of these guys like to get after it. So you get the first adjustment of the day, and they're hungover,
Sure.
and then they just got
Hungover or
chewed out.
hungry, unless you bring them donuts.
So we always want, the latest appointment, and a lot of times we'll want to see who the adjuster is. We'll look it up in our system to see if anybody has a relationship with them. In this case, we knew there was a ladder assist coming, so Herbie Hancock there, and then
And you want some bacon?
No, I had a question on the
yes,
on
Want bacon?
the deductible. It looks like on their estimate they had already taken that out.
yes,
So is that something I'm still gonna have to
yes.
write a check for?
For him.
or-
Yeah. So
or is it-
what the deductible is, if you add this up, the deductible is factored into the replacement cost number.
Right.
So they didn't add it; they took it out. So if you look at this number, the replacement cost is $66.84.
Yeah.
They're gonna subtract that $1572.85, That's in parentheses, we're gonna get that, and they give you what they call actual cash value. They're gonna subtract that $500, so the check that you have today is $46,1175.
Yeah.
If you add all that up, it ends up being, that 500 is added to that. So you'll pay that at the end. I can shrink that based on reviews, 250-ish.
Okay.
And then if we get any referrals, we can actually pay you Benjamins and you pay nothing.
Okay.
I usually do
Okay.
cash, I pay cash for referrals. So yeah, that's why when I go through this deductible payment is the out-of-pocket payment.
Okay.
So a lot of people might get that confused.
Sure.
with,
Yeah, that's
it looks
what
like
I
they
was like. It
already
looks like
paid
it's
it.
already subtracted out. You know.
Right, but if you do the math forward
Yeah.
between the first check, the out-of-pocket, and the 1572 of recoverable depreciation,
Yeah.
it will equal that.
Sure.
But we have, like I said, we can help you with the.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll send you a link when we're done, and it's like Google review and letters of recommendation, all that type of stuff. Voice basic reviews.
Yeah, I'll help,
we can
help you any way I can.
we can get that lower.
Get a good
Do
deal.
you mind? Do you have business cards with you too? I can take back to my store. Do you guys? Do you travel like areas?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have an office in Maplewood, so
Okay.
we pretty much cover all of Metro St. Louis.
Yeah, because like I said, our
Where are
territory
you
is
up again? You're up north.
Monroe, Randolph, and Washington County, Illinois. So my office is actually in Millstadt, Illinois.
Oh, you're south. Yeah.
So we have a lot of like farm rural places.
Yeah,
And
actually-
the issue we run into is nobody wants to go that far. Contractors don't
Yeah,
want to go
we
that
do.
far. Roofers don't want to go
My
that far.
Ben, one of our project managers that just passed his Hague residential roofing certification, he is from what's north of Millstadt?
Columbia or Waterloo.
Dang it.
Belleville,
No, he's
maybe?
more toward east of Belleville. God dang it, where's my phone? Let me see if I'm drawing a blank here. But we've got Ben, he lives down there, so he services
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of the
good though.
south.
That's a good thing to know because, like I said, we run into that all the time where somebody needs something and I can't get a contractor out there.
Yeah, all the time.
But nobody wants to go. Like our driving radius is about 2 hours. We'll go as far as 2 hours.
Why am I
for
so
work.
brain dead? Muscuda.
Mosquito. Okay.
Yep, that's where he's office out of. So I told him if he generates a business, we'd put a satellite office in his garage if he wanted.
Yeah. Eddie.
Eddie, why are you yelling?
He's eating bacon right now.
Okay. Now, do you have that check?
Yeah.
The down payment
Yeah.
check? Okay.
What was your estimate as far as how much you think it's gonna
Oh,
cost? You pretty much just go right off.
we
what
go
the
right up.
insurance-
We go right up.
And then, like he said, he's gonna request that.
Yeah.
What did you call it?
Yep.
Fire and ice. You said?
Oh, ice and water.
Ice and water. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The way
then,
we built the business is the contract's written to do the work as the insurance pays, and
Right.
if we can add anything more,
Yeah.
we will.
Gotcha.
but then
Okay.
you submit that to the insurance
And then-
company.
What we do
No.
is we send in our contract, which it's a two-part contract. It's a contingency contract, and then it's a legal binding intent to repair agreement. So we'll send that in with whatever we have in the system that they require, and we'll get that We'll get that second check. Usually we'll get that second check sent to you before or while the roof's going on. We try to get that moving pretty quick.
Okay.
So
Because that's what I was questioning. I didn't know if
The
that's what.
second check for the appreciation. Okay.
so yeah, we'll get that.
And is that something that?
That goes to him, them too.
Yeah.
Plus the
That's-
deductible.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we look at the way we design this, and I'm sure you guys do a similar contract where it's a replacement cost contract?
Because we actually get paid directly from the insurance company, not the customer. Like, when we submit a claim in, the checks are made to Servpro of Monroe and the customer.
So
the
we have
customer
that in
pays.
ours too, the assignment of benefits in here. So it's a newer thing in this side of the business, so we don't have, like our Nashville office gets all those checks, we're listed as a payee as well.
Is that 461175?
Yep, 461175. But the way we wrote this, it says the insured agrees that Cardinal Catastrophe Services will be paid the replacement cost value that the insured and the insured's insurance carrier agree upon for the work necessitated by the claim herein, including supplemental invoices, deductible overhead and profit. So we know that at minimum, we know, especially with this one, this is a pretty straightforward bang bang. It's a roof and we're going with the downspout. And because we carry the same estimating software called Xactimate, if this was wrong, or let's say they short shingles, I'm gonna send in, I look kind of familiar. I'm going to send in, since we have the same software, we're not disputing prices.
That's good.
So
Yeah, because
we're-
Xactimate across the board is pricing.
Maybe that's
Yep.
it.
Cardinal Catastrophe Services. Yep. You can Cardinal Cat works just fine too.
Yeah, that's good. We like Xactimate. One, the prices are a little bit higher, which
Yeah.
gets you a little more money.
What I tell a new person is if you can't make it work with Xactimate pricing, we're doing something wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
But then we have noticed, in the Metro East especially,
Okay.
painting and windows, they've kind of started to gouge.
So like all the window companies are 20% higher than Xactimate.
Really?
Yeah.
So that causes a pain for
That's
us.
good. I was just thinking about getting some, getting that stuff for the windows on the garage I can replace.
Yeah.
And then when I researched it, I was like, you know what, forget it. Now her stepdad's just helping me do it. We're just doing it
Yeah.
ourselves because
Yeah, and actually,
it would have been,
crazy.
the cost would have been more. It's just better just to do it myself. Yeah. Would have been worth it.
And so you do get the permit from the city of Edwardsville.
Yep.
I know they're extremely.
Yep. we have a bunch of
Yeah, we're in
blanks
the
in our
historical
office. So
district.
Yeah,
here
this
on
side of
this
the road is the
street.
historical
Yeah,
district
so-
too.
since we will have to get a permit that will go through historic, but we're not changing anything.
That's what they said. As long as you're not changing any. Don told me this actually in the backyard yesterday.
Shouldn't be a problem.
He's one of the head members. Only this side of the street is in the historical district.
Yeah, like where Cardinal Cat is, 214 Hillsborough, we've got a section of our office is in historic. And I'm trying to cut it in a dormer. And we actually are gonna have to sue the city of Edwardsville to get this thing to fly because we have somebody with a power trip that's on the historical board isn't budgeting. No, like
Don's a head. One of the head people in the
Is he
historical
really?
board.
Yeah.
Because it's
I'm not doing
a
that.
contractor that's pushing. It's a contractor that's one of the heavy hitters. In the
Well, that's what
historical
happened here. So Meyer
Yeah,
Property
Don-
owns this
Don might be
house.
able to help
Yeah,
out
because
with
he
that.
actually told me,
Yeah.
Meyer Property owns this house right here. And they have renters, and their sump pump was draining into our basement, and I had water damage like 4 times. So I called them and asked them to fix the sump pump drain. And then they reported us to the city of Edwardsville and said our paint was peeling on the building, and Don was so mad. Don was like, I'm gonna say something to the historical district. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, the only problem I've ever had with permitting is for our office that we own downtown, for our little building.
Yeah, I would
you know where
definitely
the
talk
Heaven
to-
Bakery is? Well, you know where we are, right? You know where Grogan's Karate is downtown?
Yeah.
And then you know that bakery right across the street? We're the tan building, the Aveda Salon. We own that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Eddie and I go to that Momentum Health and Fitness right down there.
Okay.
It's like a women's, they do all kinds of stuff for like pregnant women and babies and moms.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
on Hillsborough.
Okay.
They're in that building that's got like the big steps, like concrete steps.
Oh yeah, it's got the yoga place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not a yoga guy, but my rugby buddies.
are you showing him
are good
doodles?
individuals.
Right.
Never heard me doing
Yeah.
yoga.
The football players, you do their.
We did yoga. Eddie and I did yoga once, but we're both too loud for yoga. It lasted about 10 minutes and we were good. Are you showing him Mr. Doodles? Look, show him. Show him Mr. Doodles. It's a guinea pig, actually. He's a giant guinea pig,
So this will
too.
turn into a working receipt. I'll leave this with you, but we'll probably add a couple payments or two on this.
He's like giant compared to most guinea pigs, but I think it's all hair. He's pretty fantastic. Isn't he? Oh,
There. We'll get all this loaded in the system, put the roof order in, and let's see, we'll get the permit. We'll put the supplement in for ice and water. Pretty, I don't want to say easy, but it's a little easier one to do this month. Anyway,
That's what I said. I said we have a
It's been
pretty
pretty busy with all
simple.
this rain we've had, storms and everything.
yeah, we've got Collinsville, like Collinwood, kind of behind Aldi. That whole
Yeah, yeah.
subdivision's hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of slow-moving jobs, but we've got a bunch down there, and then our office across the river in Maplewood, we've got over in Wildwood and
Eureka.
Oh yeah, they got hit.
It's
hard.
tough in Missouri though because I say for people that don't know the roofing industry, Missouri is the wild west when it comes to roofing because you don't need a roofing license and there is no code enforcement.
No code at all.
So we see a lot of houses with no drip edge, 7 layers, and everything short of the shingles being put on upside down.
Yeah.
And it's a shit show there. Like I said.
Oh
It's,
yeah.
and I guess, we opened up an office in North Minnesota in Nashville before we opened in St. Louis, just because of how the competitors, and it's a hard place to work.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of work there, so we're starting to get our brand out and people are starting
But
to
yeah,
know us.
and if you go out there and do the right work out
Yeah,
there, then they're
our
gonna
word of mouth is traveling.
appreciate it.
We just assigned 2 that I heard about you at a restaurant, but we heard about you at the grocery store.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay,
awesome.
That's
it's
good.
working. It took a couple years, but it's going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have each other's texts and everything, so we have Tyler's information. I got everything loaded, so we're gonna
So
go
you
put it
guys
in the
just gotta let
system.
me know when you think
Yeah,
the
so
roof will happen.
worst case scenario, you come home and there's shingles on your roof.
Okay.
Just text us. Sometimes we can't control that.
Well, he's
Roof order,
like
normally we get the
obsessed
acknowledgements and
with
we'll
my
get an email from RP. Sometimes it just shows up.
Hi, buddy.
So I'll just
Just
wait
in
to
that-
see it show up and then I'll
And-
contact you.
We will I'm gonna do my best to let you know that's ordered or
Okay.
when it's arriving, but don't get mad at me if it just shows up.
No worries.
Could happen.
Hey, we're Cardinal people. Say,
Cool.
go, Cardinals.
Rock and roll. All right.
Yeah.
Any questions? We will get out of your hair and we'll go put this in and